All right, thanks everyone. This is the post-race Zoom press conference for the 450 class from the Circle K Spring Creek National. We have our top finishers from this afternoon. Joining us in the 450 class is Justin Barcia, today's winner, as well as Chase Sexton, who finished just off the podium in fourth this afternoon. And we also have Ken Roczen joining us as well, who finished the day off with a win in the final moto. Justin, we will kick it off with you. You've been fast all season long. You're showing that this gas cat has what it takes to run up front. You've been knocking on the door, and today it all came together. Talk about your afternoon and how it feels to get back on top of the box for the first time since 2018.
Yeah, it was a really good day. Felt incredible. Super happy and grateful, and yeah, it was awesome. I'm a little lost for words still, just kind of taking it all in. A lot of hard racing, definitely pushed hard, and yeah, can't thank the whole crew enough though. The whole Gas Cats team, they've been awesome, and they keep believing in me, and yeah, it's been rad, and today was super cool.
Awesome. All right, we'll move on to Chase. You've also had it's kind of a tough year. You've had the speed, you've been there. It's been kind of a mixed bag for you all in all. But as you mentioned kind of on the podium that you're ready to kind of start turning things around, and this is maybe that kind of boost you needed to do so. What was the key to today to getting you up there, and what's it going to take for you to be able to sustain this through the second half?
Yeah, it's can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're all good.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough start to the season. First moto came out of the year and had a really good run, and then from there it's been kind of it's been going downhill a little bit. So I felt really comfortable today. I made a bike change after first practice, which I haven't been really feeling too comfortable on the weekends with just the race bike feeling way different from the practice bike. So made a change after first practice, and automatically when I went on the track, I felt a lot better. That's probably the best qualifying speed I've had all year so far. So I felt really good. And then going into the first moto, I was going to have Ken on the first corner and kind of, I don't know, have me start behind the 8-ball from the first corner on from today. So yeah, I got up to 7th. I felt really good. It was kind of a bummer to waste a whole moto with how I was feeling. I feel like I had what it takes to run up there with the guys, and it was a bummer to be laying on the ground. So second moto didn't get that great of a start, but I got up to 3rd probably like 10 minutes in and had Eli behind me. So we had a pretty good battle the whole moto, but by that point, Justin and Ken were really far gone. So they all rode well, and it's been a battle so far. This class is really tough, even compared to last year. So it's fun, and I'm looking forward to the last 6 races. Hopefully we're trending the right direction and we can keep this going.
Awesome. Ken, if you can hear us, next one will go over to you. Awesome. So obviously, a rough day for you, but you showed your resilience and you showed your toughness. You, as you said on the podium, you did all you could do, all things considered, with what was happening today, and you minimized that damage in the second moto. Talk about your day. How are you feeling? How's your body feeling? And, what went into just gutting through this day and pulling out that second moto win? I mean, it was a pretty inspiring performance.
Yeah, obviously the first moto was was really tough. I had a good start, but I think we got pushed off from the inside, and I ended up going down and being pretty far up front. A couple people just absolutely clobbered me, so I definitely had to catch my breath, and it was just my ribs. Like, I have super solid tire marks on the side right there, so my ribs were hurting pretty good, so I had to really make sure that everything was fine. And obviously by that time they pretty much almost did an entire lap, and I think my bike was pretty mangled too. My complete header was crushed, so I couldn't have continued anyways. But so I just went back and made sure that everything was good. Went to the medical rig real quick just to make sure that nothing's cracked or whatever. But I felt pretty solid. Obviously I was sore, but yeah, I just put all my energy then into the second moto. I struggled this weekend just because I've been sick and just had a sore throat a couple days ago, and it all went into my sinuses. So I, in general, didn't feel that hot. And now after the racing, it's definitely hitting me right now. So it wasn't the ideal day, but we got at least one moto done, and it is what it is. As for what it was after the first moto, we did exactly what we wanted to do for the second one, and that's all I could have asked for.
All right, we'll open it up to media. Please use the raise your hand feature. Andrew Cervisa, go first.
Hey, Justin, you're one of the few riders, if not the only rider at your level, that stays in California and practices in California. And it seems that most riders are focused on acclimating themselves to the softer or the different soil or dirt in Florida. Is that more for you? You are at such a level where you can immediately acclimate to the different dirt, or you're just, how do you explain that you're able to, it doesn't matter whether you're in California training or testing and you're on the weekends in Florida or on the East Coast and you're still on the box or on the podium or winning races?
Yeah, definitely. For me, I'm good at soft dirt. I'm not so good at hard pack. So California is a good spot for me to be. Only took me like forever to figure that out. But no, it's been good to be with the team out in California. Like I do all my testing and stuff. So I needed to be there. We wouldn't be where we're at right now if I wasn't in California. So yeah, I need to be there. And I think I've been at it long enough to where I can adapt to the conditions. And yeah, so that's pretty much it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's keep this with Justin Barcia. Justin, take us through those laps in the first moto there. It was getting pretty full on with Ferrandis towards the end, and then you get off the motorcycle and you look fresh and ready to go again. I don't understand that. How are you feeling at the last sort of laps moto?
Yeah, it's funny. I was super lucky to be able to ride my own race, get the whole shot, and just it sounds weird to say, but I rode like really in my comfort zone, like 85% the first moto. And then when Dylan really got on me, I obviously had to wick it up. I think team told me I did my fastest lap the last lap of the moto. So, but yeah, I saved some energy because I knew the second moto would be pretty gnarly. So yeah, I mean, everything's been going good for me. I can't complain. Working hard. Training's been good. I feel strong, and yeah, just keep it going.
Absolutely. Killing it, buddy. Good job today.
Thanks, mate.
Trent, go ahead.
Yeah, Trent Moto Limited Show. I'll go to Chase. Chase, that second moto, you come together with Coop there over the finish line, and Coop unfortunately went down. Did you even notice that happened at the time when your wheels connected off the up there, or did you sort of look over and see him going down?
Yeah, I mean, it was really close, but I kind of thought I had the pass made, and then I don't know, we came up the face of the jump, and I kind of expected him to whip or scrub the right side. I don't know. I felt like he was pretty close to the side of the jump for him to scrub the other way. So I went and just kind of try to get as low as possible because he was still close enough where he could have ran it into the next corner. So I scrubbed the jump, and I felt our tires kind of connect in the air. But for me, it didn't obviously upset my bike at all, but it kind of threw him into, I thought he was going to come out. Like after watching it, it was crazy that he actually saved it as good as he did. I didn't intend on getting that close. And I was watching the video. It looks like it's pretty much my fault from the full speed video, but if you do slow it down, you can see him kind of go right. Not saying it was his fault either, but I think it was more of a racing incident. And I think he was pretty upset because I came around because obviously he crashed and he was revving his bike at me and stuff like that. So obviously he wasn't happy with the situation, but again, I didn't mean to do any harm to him or make him crash. So yeah, it was just, we got close, and yeah, I'm just grateful that it wasn't worse and he got out of it pretty good. And yeah, it was just a racing incident and I meant no harm by it.
Yeah, man, congratulations on the podium today.
Thank you.
Anthony, your turn.
Thanks, Brandon. Anthony Sansoda here, MotoOnline.com. Go to Justin Barcia. Justin, you were clearly sending it a little bit there in Moto 1, and you had plenty of moments that we got to see on the broadcast of sliding off the top of Mount Martin there, and it looked pretty wild. And then you had an insane scrub the last lap. after you bobbled in the corner there with Dylan right behind you. Do those moments phase you? Like, does it spike your heart rate, or are you're just good with it?
It's funny. I'm good with it. The team always asks me like, "Hey, that was gnarly?" I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't remember. Like, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. Somehow I'm okay with it, which is a good thing, I suppose, because I like to keep her on the edge a little bit. So yeah, it's I can't wait to rewatch the race and see some good clips.
Alex Gobert.
Thanks, Brandon. Yeah, Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. This one's for Ken. Considering you missed that opening moto after the first turn incident, talk us through those opening laps of the second moto. You seem to adapt pretty quickly and get back up to speed, considering there'd been, a full 450 moto and then, the 250 class as well.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of the negative things, just me, pretty much from second practice on, skipping the entire, first half of the day and just jumping into the second moto. But, at the same time, we've all been racing for quite a long time. And I was just ready to go for the second moto. So, and the parade lap, just keep an eyes open and try to adapt quick. I think this is something that a rider needs in general. So yeah, I just had to adapt really quick. And that was probably one of the negative parts, just kind of having to find my groove and stuff a little bit. But yeah, we made it work and we made it happen. And also for the start, because being 40th gate pick, I actually got pretty lucky to get a gate in there. And most of the ruts were not that great in general. So I was pretty satisfied with what I had. I mean, mine was a little weird after the gate, but at the same time, it's kind of funny too, because I saw Justin Brayton actually sent me the start that he filmed. And out of all 40 riders, I was in between Savachi and Marvin. And those two got literally some of the best starts on in the second moto. And I was in the middle of it because my start was actually pretty good, but those were just so much better. So I had to hit the brakes kind of early, but then I obviously snuck around the inside and made it work. So.
Yeah, awesome. Congrats. Really impressive and good to see you bounce back.
Thank you.
Weed, go ahead.
Hi, Jason Wygant here, NBC Sports. I will go to Ken. Describe the pass for the lead in the second moto on Barcia. We've seen a lot of guys attempt the outside, and even if you make the pass, it's usually close. But you made up a lot of ground there. Just talk about that first lap.
Yeah, I saw him going to the inside, and I knew that the outside there was freshly prepped. So I just right away just committed to the outside, and it was like pretty much a perfect berm and made it happen right there. So I was just happy to see that line was open, and I could finally, for once, lately anyways, have a clear track after that.
Okay, thanks.
Let's see. We'll go to Nick.
Awesome. So let's go back to Justin Barcia again. Sort of just following up with the same question we just had. How was it feel to you? Today you guys were obviously the first race out on the track instead of the 250s, and there was going to be a bit different. Do you find that different with how the track formed up? Wasn't as rough, was a little bit smoother. How was that personally for you?
Yeah, I think first moto definitely was a bit smoother. The track was a little bit awkward today, not big ruts and stuff, so you definitely had to be on your toes. But second moto, it was rough. The downhill was pretty gnarly. The sand rollers were brutal, and yeah, it was definitely different. But I do think the second moto was rough. It would have been maybe a little rougher if we were, after the 250s. But all in all, I enjoyed the track. It was a good racetrack, plenty of places to pass. Yeah, Kenny railed around the outside on that thing. I wish I would have saw that, because he went by me like probably 30 miles per hour faster, it seemed like. So I was like, he went by like a rocket ship. So I was like, whew, gonna have to watch that line. Pretty much took it the whole rest of the race.
Thanks, Justin.
Andrew Revisa, you're next.
Hey, thank you, Brendan. Hey, Kenny, can you talk a little bit about the emotions and what you're internalizing or feeling when in that first moto, when you are hit and you're on the ground and then there are riders coming right on top of you? It seemed a lot worse than it didn't seem like you would be able to bounce back and let alone win a second moto. Is it just the image that is more striking on the TV, or is that you have lungs of steel?
I think, it's that a little bit of that German oak tree in me, No, I'm kidding. But it was no joke being there. I mean, obviously with all that stuff going on, you can't see exactly what happened, but I got hit hard. I'm honestly very surprised that I didn't crack my ribs or something like that, because I sure feel like a train ran over me. But I was pretty calm. I was just laying on the ground there, and as soon as I touched the ground, my helmet, I slammed in the ground so hard that my helmet, everything was kind of like sideways and crooked, so I couldn't really see anyways. So then afterwards, I was face down, just trying to catch my breath and waiting for that initial kind of like pain and just a situation to kind of settle down a little bit, right? Because I knew it was pretty bad. But then at the same time, I was just kind of calm, and I just did slow movements because I have a Charlie horse on my quad as well, like right above where the knee brace is. So then I kind of was just moving super slow, but I just stayed pretty calm because in the situation, and maybe it's also just being, somewhat of a veteran also in the sport, but I just stayed pretty calm. We went back to the Alpine Star medical crew, and as soon as I kind of just moved around and I felt no sharp pain, like, we kind of know when a bone is cracked or broken or whatever, we kind of just know. So I felt no sharp pains or anything like that. And I limped my way back. And so I was like, well, it sucked, obviously, but that's just part of the game. Sometimes it can happen real quick to anybody else for in the rest of the season as well. So I just kind of kept calm, and I made up my mind right away that obviously, as long as there's nothing really bad, that I was going to go out and race the second moto. So I just popped a couple of Advils and just went back out there and just I tried to pretty much pretend going into the second moto like nothing happened as much as I could anyways.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Thank you.
Yep.
Anthony.
Thanks, Brandon. Anthony Motoonline.com. I'll go to Chase with this one. Chase, you've had a bit of a rough year. I know you've been a little frustrated at times. Can you talk about the struggles and where you're at? Was there anything that led you to kind of a better day today?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a little bit of a rough year. Supercross, I've had a few get-offs, and overall just trying to learn the 450 it was a little bit of I had to kind of take a step back in Supercross and then regain my confidence and finish out the year decent. Got on the podium a few times, and then coming into outdoors, I felt like I was in a pretty good spot with the bike. And then you go to the first race and change everything. Which the first moto of the year went really good for me, and then I feel like after that, it all kind of snowballed and went a little bit downhill. So, it's just hard when I go to I haven't really been feeling comfortable on race day, just with my bike. Like I said, feeling a lot different, and I couldn't put a finger on what it was. The bike felt really unstable and not anything like I rode. It kind of felt the opposite of my practice bike. So when you go to the race and you start off first practice and you're frustrated, it's just, you feel like you're in a hole and it's hard to dig yourself out. But for me, today I finally felt comfortable from second practice on, and obviously the first moto result didn't show it, but I feel like I've made a big step, and we have 6 races left. So we're only halfway through, and hopefully we can just start getting good results and be where I'm supposed to be. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough go so far, but hopefully we're on the upward swing and can, like I said, start battling with these guys and being up front.
Good deal. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Kellen, go ahead.
Thanks. Kellen Brower here with RacerX. Kenny, could you kind of just talk us through how the crash unfolded from your perspective? Because it seemed like maybe there was a little bumping with AC, but then you kind of just folded into the dust a little bit and we couldn't tell.
So I got out of the gate really good. Went down the straightaway. I wheelied just a little bit, so I hooked my clutch for like the split second. But in general, I know Justin had a really good start. So he came in from the outside, and there was a Yamaha on the inside as well. So I kind of got sandwiched a little bit. So I hit my brakes, and I was in a pretty safe spot, I thought, but I saw a green fender on the inside, and Adam said he kind of got pushed from the inside as well. And as we were kind of in the turn, it was, I don't think we were locking bars, but something made me just almost like a magnet. Like I was just being pulled down straight into the ground. And then as soon as I was into the ground, I kind of just closed my eyes, and, things, obviously happened really quick. And I felt clobbering me, obviously, and felt a really big hit. And then it was already done as well. But it was kind of unexpected because things like that normally happen when you're a little bit like mid-pack and you start locking bars and stuff like that. So it's kind of unexpected, but I don't really like the start straight and the way we funnel all into that fast right-hander, to be honest. But yeah, and that was the end of that, really.
Well, thank you.
Alex Gobert.
Yeah, thanks. This one's for Justin Barcia. We've seen you trending in the right direction in terms of the championship standings in the last couple of rounds. Now, today you went up 2 positions into 3rd in the points. So is that something of importance for you, or what's your take on that?
Sorry, I've been in a restaurant. Hope it's not too loud. But yeah, no, I'm stoked on the points. I think it's really good. Not focused on it whatsoever. Definitely today was a good points day. I just need to go out there and win more races and put myself in a good spot. So yeah, just focus on trying to win and be on the podium and put in solid results, and we'll see where we're at the end of the year. But yeah, today was a really good day for the points. I was stoked to see that.
Cool. Thank you. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Weege, your turn.
Thanks. I'll stay with Justin Barcia here. We always hear about riders who are so fast during the week, and if they could just bring that on race day, or with their speed in qualifying, if they just bring that in the race, the main event or the moto, you seem to be the opposite. You bring more speed. The more pressure you're under, the better you seem to ride. Is that the way you've always been? Is that something you learned through the years? Because you seem to bring your best stuff when riders are trying to get you. You can actually up your pace when you're under pressure.
Yeah, for sure. I think for some reason, I've always been good under pressure. Always seem to perform well. And yeah, I don't know, if I'm like a psychopath or something. I enjoy that. But yeah, it's been good. Like throughout my career, I've always had a lot of pressure. And like today, I maybe wasn't the fastest, but I was able to get good starts and put myself where I needed to and be strong. And I guess I've been told I'm hard to pass, so I try to keep that up.
Your starts were better today, both motos, and you had a good one last week. Is there something you guys have figured out, or is it just it worked out 3 out of 4 motos here?
Definitely been working on it. Just practice. Yeah, trying to fine tune my technique. It's been good, honestly. Will's been very helpful. Just able to watch things a little closer and kind of stay on me. So yeah, it's definitely been positive to have Will on board. But yeah, I've definitely been doing lots of starts, and that's with this field, you have to get good starts.
Cool. Andrew with Revista.
Thank you, Brendan. Hey, Chase, if I remember correctly, during the Supercross post-race interview, you said something about that you're still focused on, or you are preparing or getting ready for the 2022 season. Do you still feel that way, that you're still getting used to the team and the 450, or do you feel that you're in motocross, you're focused on the races at hand, or are you still thinking about next year and being a top competitor in Supercross and motocross?
Yeah, I mean, Supercross is more of a learning curve, obviously, because I didn't race it the year before. But coming into outdoors, I definitely had, I guess, higher expectations than I did in Supercross because I did race last year, and I felt like I had a pretty good outdoor season. So coming into this year, I felt like I was in a better spot. Obviously, we're on a new bike, so it's kind of like starting over again. But yeah, I wasn't really looking to just get ready for next year. I feel like I have what it takes to be good in outdoors, and that's kind of where my focus is at right now. Supercross, like I said, it was my first year, and I took a lot of bumps and bruises, and I learned a lot. So I'm still learning, and I'm still getting used to the team, and being on a factory team, it's a little bit different than being on Geico. It's been a year now, but I'm still getting used to it every day by doing from the race reports to talking to the team. It's a little bit different than being on Geico. So yeah, I'm still learning, and it's been fun. So I'm looking forward to the rest of these 6 races and having a really good off season. So but no, my focus is right now doing the best I possibly can outdoors, and I feel like I'm capable of doing it much better. So that's the focus, and until I get there, I'll keep working my butt off.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, just a couple more. Alex Gobert.
I'll keep it with Chase. You mentioned earlier that this year you felt as though it's, probably more difficult than last year. Is that in terms of the depth or the outright pace of the guys at the front?
I would say the depth. I mean, we brought we have Dylan now, and obviously I feel like Justin has taken another step up, and Ken wasn't with us last year, racing outdoors. So, and then I feel like Eli is now getting better and better. So I think everyone's just kind of stepped up a little bit, and having a few more guys in there to already a stacked field, it just makes it even better racing. And like Justin said, it really comes down to starts and putting yourself in a good position. And haven't been doing the best job of that this year, which has made my life difficult. And the first corner situation today I put myself at mercy of other people being in the back of the pack, and you kind of saw the outcome. So yeah, it's just, you really have to focus on getting out front early. And but I would say just the depth, and I think everyone's kind of taken a step up this year, and the field has kind of stayed the same too. We've lost a few guys, but overall it's still really stacked, and the pace is higher for longer too. It doesn't seem like anyone gets tired, and so yeah, it's definitely you got to put two really solid motos in, and that's it's the deal this year. So you can't afford to slack off at all, and you got to be on your toes.
Right on. Thank you.
Anthony, you get to wrap it up.
Thanks, Brandon. Anthony Sansoto, MotoOnline.com. I'll go to Ken Roczen with this one. Kenny, once you were out front for a few laps, did you think at all there was going to be a drop in pace with how you were physically, or was the adrenaline flowing and you were good to go?
No, I was pretty solid, and the adrenaline was fun, to be honest. I didn't really think about it that much. I mean, during the parade lap, I could definitely just feel I don't want to call it meat, but I could just feel like, when stuff wiggles around. And I was actually really surprised on my ribs that there was no sharper pain, like seat bouncing or things like that. So that was actually pretty solid. But my triceps and my right arm and definitely my lat and everything that kind of like was hit, I could just kind of like feel the inflammation wiggle a little bit, but it wasn't bad enough like internally really for it to like take my breath away or anything like that. So I was actually pretty pumped on that. So it's pretty much just my quad it's just Charlie horses all around. I got pretty lucky because obviously the hit was just, when you go down and kind of the front of the pack and on the start turn like that and you get hit like that, I was a little scared at first, obviously with some broken ribs, but yeah, it was just the adrenaline definitely does its magic too.
Thanks, Ken.
All right. Well, thank you to our 3 450 competitors. Great day all around for you guys. Congratulations on the afternoon, and we'll see everyone at Washougal.
Thank you.
Thank you.